Hi everybody. Well, I just saw a thing on Let's Go Travel Tips. My friend Allison out there, and she was commenting on how she took down some videos because of her comments that she had made, and she was contacted by a cruise line, and she thought, let's not burn bridges. Let's calm the waters down and everything like that. And then it came to me, because I get asked this a lot, and that do I ever get contacted by the cruise lines? So the short answer is yes. Over the course of doing many videos, some of them glowing reviews of cruise ships, some of them not so glowing reviews of cruise ships or cruise lines, or just the policies that maybe they brought out or something they did, right? It can be anything from, my thoughts on their raising gratuities to a certain rate, my thoughts on them doing something on a ship while the cruise was still going on and affecting the passengers' enjoyment, that kind of thing. And yeah, I've had the cruise lines contact me, but in all the videos I've ever put out, by far, the most times when they contact me, it's to either explain the situation of why they did something, to clarify something and make it see their point of view on a situation, or they called me to find out what happened, what was my real experience, so they could fix it. Which, I experienced recently on the Sky Princess when I said, something seemed to be up with the room service on board because 3 people on 3 separate occasions, all in my party that we were traveling with, had a bad experience of one type of or another. And I made a video of it, and they contacted me and asked me what the situation was, what happened, because they wanted to address the issue right away. They didn't want me to change anything. They didn't want me to take down the video or anything like that. They didn't want any of that situation. They wanted to find out what was wrong. And I've had that issue numerous times on cruise ships. I'll put a video out, and but by the time I get back to my room, I'm being contacted. Or the minute I get home, I will put out a video and I get calls and I get contacted. But 99,000 times out of 100,000, it's literally just to find out what happened, to get clarification, maybe explain something that they did and the reason they did it. It's never been to complain, hey, you know what, you're not doing a good job, you're not telling the truth. Never once have I ever been accused of that by a cruise line, which, I don't put something out. Remember, when you're doing a review and I say, oh, you know what, I didn't really enjoy the food at this restaurant. That was that one time that I was there. That's the one time I'm experiencing it. When I do a review on a ship at that time. It's not every time you eat there. It's not every person who's eat there. And food, like entertainment, can be very subjective, right? It can be all about your personal taste and feelings. Do you enjoy this kind of stuff? Yes or no? And if you're a person who really likes Broadway shows and dancing, then you're not going to enjoy a show that's a straight singer as much as you would like the big Broadway show. It's very subjective. It's what your personal tastes are. So when I review something, it's my personal taste. I do often ask other people to see if I notice something seems off. I will talk to other people. I will ask other people. But if I'm just doing a straight up, hey, this is my room tour view of the cruise ship cabin, and I say, you know what, I really don't like the fact that this has like a big huge tub step in. If you have mobility issues, you could have an issue. I prefer a walk-in shower. That's just my personal feelings. Somebody with a kid who wants to put the kid in a tub would probably have a much better opinion of that than I would. It's all your own thoughts. And even when I do my reviews, I do that. And the cruise lines know that, and they appreciate that when I'm mentioning stuff like, you know, I didn't have this good experience. I'm not saying the whole cruise line's bad. I'm not saying the whole ship is bad. I'm saying in that one time, that one specific thing, I had a bad experience. That's all I'm ever saying. And the cruise lines are very good at that. They're, you know, they know that this kind of situation happens, and I do appreciate it that they appreciate that I'm not trying. And if anything, I've been one of the biggest promoters of cruising out there. I wouldn't be on cruising as many times as I am if I didn't love cruising. And I will call out things that I think are going wrong with the industry, and anything that takes away from the experience of the passenger, I will call out as well. And the cruise lines just have to deal with that. Now, only in my 5 years here on YouTube, only once, and it was even before the pandemic, have I ever been contacted by a cruise line saying they wanted me to take down a video. And I won't mention the cruise line's name because I don't even think the person who called is working for the cruise line anymore. But they actually didn't call me. They called the people at Travel Only, my travel agency company, and said, hey, we just watched Don's video. We would really like him to take it down. It really doesn't show our cruise company in a good light. And I was reacting to something that the company did during a live sailing with passengers on board that I thought ruined the experience for those passengers. And they contacted them saying it then. And my company immediately just said, did he say anything untrue? And they said, well, no, but it doesn't make us look good. And they said, well, maybe that's more on you than it is on him. And maybe you should fix that issue and not ask him to not talk about it. He's representing our customers and his clients and telling him what he thought was a bad decision by your cruise line. And the cruise line kind of went, oh, okay. And that's one of the reasons when people say, hey, Don, are you thinking about changing your travel agency or changing? No, that's one of the reasons I've stuck with my travel agency for so long, is they know what I do. They think I'm a big promoter for cruising industry, and I think I do as well. And they do not mind if I call out, as long as I don't make things up. And I don't make things up. I report on things in the news. I report on my feelings. I report on my experiences. And I report on experiences you folks have when you send me all the different things that happened to you. I've had numerous people sending me messages lately, this happened to us on this ship, or this is happening on this ship. And so it's really good that we can keep that communication open. But yeah, that was quite a while ago, actually. That was back in, I think, 2018 that happened. Nothing's happened since. So yeah, do I ever get reached out by the cruise lines? Yes. Do they ever ask me to take down my video? Only once, and they got put in their place, and it's never happened since.